Welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today. We're doing something a little bit different, something highly interactive. Today is an interactive masterclass where we'll be testing your automation IQ. We hear the buzzwords constantly: AI, automation, agents. But do you actually know the difference between a traditional script and true agentic AI? And more importantly, do you know where to actually apply them in your business without breaking your operations? Well, we are going to find out today.
But first, I want to hook you with this staggering reality. Think about this number for a second. $47 billion. That is the amount of money spent on AI initiatives by organizations in just the first half of 2024 alone. But here's the real kicker. 89% of businesses saw minimal returns on that massive investment. Why? Because of brittle implementations. They rushed into using AI without understanding the fundamental differences between simple task automation and intelligent workflows. They basically treated a highly adaptable brain like a simple script, and, well, it cost them dearly.
So, here's our syllabus for today's masterclass. We're going to cover the automation reality check, step-based versus agentic AI, spotting true AI opportunities, the human in the loop, and finally, building hybrid AI workflows.
Let's start things off with Section 1, the automation reality check, where we test your baseline. We really need to establish the foundation of why so many companies get automation completely wrong. You just can't build a smart system if you don't understand the basic tools in your toolkit. So, I want you to play along. Here is question 1. Which of these is a true example of traditional automation? Is it A, a chatbot recommending personalized workout plans? B, an AI writing a social media caption from a product description? C, a system that sends a thank you email after a purchase? Or D, a bot that summarizes a meeting transcript? Take a quick second to lock in your guess.
All right, if you guessed C, you hit the nail on the head. Sending a rule-based thank you email is a fixed, predictable task. This is the very definition of traditional automation. It's completely deterministic. The exact same input always produces the exact same output. A purchase happens, boom, an email fires. There's no reasoning, no creativity, and no language processing required. It just follows the map exactly as a human programmed it.
Moving right along to Section 2, step-based versus agentic AI, and the core differences between them.
Once you cross the line from fixed rules into systems that actually have to think and make decisions, the entire game changes. Here is a double-header to test that distinction. Question 5. Which of these tasks requires true agentic AI, not just a step-based script? A tool responding to FAQs with canned responses, a script posting a blog every Friday, an AI researching and recommending new product ideas, or a reminder system texting you before meetings? And for question 6, how would you fill in these blanks? Traditional automation is blank, while AI-powered automation is blank. Think it over.
Well, if you guessed C for both of those, you nailed it. Traditional automation is fixed and rule-based, while agentic AI adapts and reasons. That's exactly why an AI that researches and recommends new product ideas is agentic. Traditional automation just executes a script. An AI agent actually makes decisions. It handles situations its builder never even anticipated. Think of traditional automation like a train on a track. It literally only goes where the rails go. Agentic AI is much more like an off-road vehicle. You give it a destination, a goal, and it figures out how to navigate the terrain to get there.
Okay, let's jump into Section 3, spotting true AI opportunities, and exactly where AI shines.
Now, just because you can throw an AI agent at a problem doesn't mean you automatically should. We want to look for tasks where AI actually adds massive value. Think about your own daily tasks for question 3. What makes a workflow suitable for AI-powered automation? Is it a one-time task? Does it require strategic planning? Does it involve repetitive manual steps with structured inputs? Or does it use language, personalization, or predictions? And while you're at it, question 8, true or false? AI can summarize 10 customer reviews into themes and draft a social post based on them.
So the answer to question 3 is D, and question 8 is absolutely true. The crucial point here is that AI truly shines in frequent multi-step tasks involving natural language and unstructured data. If you have a task that requires multi-step logic, where the answer to how do you do this is usually, well, it kind of depends, that is where an AI agent belongs. Summarizing 10 messy, real-world customer reviews into themes is not a fixed rule and relies heavily on language processing and pattern recognition. That makes it a perfect, true fit for AI.
Which brings us to Section 4, the human in the loop,
because knowing AI's limits is absolutely crucial.
We have to talk about these boundaries. Autonomy without guardrails is a massive liability. If you just hand over the keys to your business operations without any oversight, things can go wrong very, very quickly. So, let's group 3 critical questions together to test your knowledge of those limits. Question 2. True or false? AI is best for tasks requiring creativity, empathy, or moral judgment. Question 4. Which tasks should probably not be automated? Drafting sales follow-ups, transcribing meetings, reaching out to an unhappy customer with a refund, or writing a birthday greeting. And finally, question 7. What's a major risk of overusing AI automation?
If you guessed false, C, and C, you are absolutely right. AI just cannot handle moral judgment or unhappy customers. There's this fantastic quote from Zara that really highlights this perfectly. AI can process words, but it struggles to read between the lines, missing the emotional context entirely. AI doesn't feel empathy. If a customer is super frustrated about a late delivery and needs a special exception to a refund policy, an AI is going to miss all those subtle emotional cues. Human intelligence and emotional intelligence are still 100% required for those high-stakes, sensitive interactions.
Because without a human in the loop, the real-world consequences can be catastrophic. Take the Air Canada debacle. Their chatbot completely fabricated a refund policy, gave it to a customer, and a tribunal actually ruled the airline was legally liable for the bot's hallucination. 85% of consumers flat out say complex issues need human assistance. If you over-automate, you suffer from automation bias, where you just blindly trust whatever the machine says, and you inevitably erode the trust of your own customers.
Finally, let's look at Section 5, Building Hybrid AI Workflows, which is really the ultimate solution here. How do we actually bridge this gap? We want the sheer efficiency of automation, but we desperately need the safety and empathy of human judgment. That brings us to the modern operational gold standard. For our final 2 quiz questions, let's see how this looks in practice. Question 9. Which tool is most likely to power true AI automation? Calendly, Google Sheets, ChatGPT API, or Zapier alone? And question 10. Which process is the perfect candidate for a hybrid AI workflow? Setting up calendar invites, analyzing survey responses and sending customized reports, generating a standard expense report, or downloading a PDF?
The answers are C, the ChatGPT API, and B, analyzing those survey responses. Now, what's really interesting here is how a true hybrid workflow functions. Use traditional automation like Zapier to gather the survey responses, because that's just a fixed, rule-based data moving task. Then, you pass it over to an agentic AI, like the ChatGPT API, to actually read, summarize, and draft insights from all that messy, unstructured language data. And finally, this is critical, it goes to a human manager for approval. You're applying expensive, flexible AI only where judgment is needed, letting cheap, reliable automation handle the strict rules and keeping human oversight on the final output. It's brilliant.
The ultimate goal here is something called progressive autonomy. You start with really tight human reviews, and you only loosen those controls as your hybrid AI system earns your trust over time. You don't just flip a switch, you build a partnership. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Looking at your own business right now, are your workflows blindly following rigid rules and breaking at the first sign of an exception? Or are they intelligently earning trust? Are you ready to stop treating automation like a script and start treating it like a proactive partner? Thank you so much for joining this explainer, and I'll catch you next time as we continue to decode the future of business operations.